It's official. At midnight, the Bell system was broken up. The Lexington-Fayette Urban County government entered Decade 2 today with the swearing in of its 6th council. And you'll meet this year's first Fayette County baby. And in sports, we are down to 4 with one more step to the Super Bowl. I'm Mike Taylor. 18 Action News is next.
WLEX, there, be there.
18 Action News from Lexington, the heart of the bluegrass for all Central Kentucky.
Good evening, everyone. You may not have noticed, but the operator answering your call for assistance today no longer works for Mall Bell. When you rang in the new year, all the Bell companies were legally dissolved, and the long-distance arm of Bell Systems became AT&T. Steve Collier has more on the breakup.
These operators will still give the same service. Steve Collier, 18 Action News.
So far, the death of a 22-year-old Frankfort man has been the only traffic fatality reported to the Kentucky State Police this holiday weekend. John Lester Thornton died at about 8 o'clock last night on US 421 at the Home Street exit in Frankfort. That was the 777th and final Kentucky traffic fatality of 1983. That figure compares to 836 during 1982. State and local police were out in force last night trying to remove drunk drivers from the roads and hold down traffic fatalities. Did they succeed? Well, that one fatality compares to 8 during last New Year's weekend. The official holiday weekend does, however, run through tomorrow. These blue lights you see behind me are from a Kentucky State Police roadblock in Woodford County. Officers from the Frankfort Post used the roadblocks last night to check operators' licenses and look for drunk drivers in central Kentucky. The KSP believes the roadblocks have become an effective tool.
State Police have always considered the DUI a serious problem. The individual that has been drinking would be on the passenger side, so I believe these road checks are beneficial.
Here in Lexington, the Traffic Alcohol Patrol was working the streets looking for drunk drivers. 51 people were brought to the Fayette County Detention Center on charges of driving under the influence. Officers from the Frankfort State Police Post arrested 24 on DUI charges. While many people were spending their New Year's Eve at parties, one small group in Lexington brought 1984 in with prayer. Several Lexington groups started a prayer vigil last night at St. Paul's Church and finished the year with a candlelight procession at Triangle Park. One of the organizers, Rebecca Ballard, talks about the kind of people who spent their evening praying in the new year.
People who perhaps spend their today's society with the concerns about the Cold War, with the concerns between Russia and the Soviet Union, with concerns in Lebanon. Many people are concerned about peace.
Ballard says the group believes that together we can bring world peace. Up next, 12 of Fayette County's representatives took the oath of office this afternoon as the urban county enters decade number 2.
As the weather gets... Shoes are included. All sales shoes are a penny when you buy a pair at the regular price at Pick and Save, Winchester Road.
It was 10 years ago today that Lexington and Fayette County entered a new age. The two local governments merged to form the state's first and to date only urban county government. Today, the 6th council since merger was sworn in as the government enters its 2nd decade. Fayette County's 12 district council members took their oath of office from Kentucky Supreme Court Chief Justice Robert Stevens. Most of the faces will be familiar to you. Only 4th District Representative Dick Perry and 9th District Council member Roy Durbin joined the council for the first time. Vice Mayor Ann Ross took the opportunity to herald the accomplishments of council members in the last 2 years. And she said the 2 new members would fit right in. Ross also talked of a council that has matured after 10 years.
I feel we are finally arriving at our place, and that we as council members have developed over the past few years a better understanding of our roles and responsibilities as legislators.
Mayor Scotty Basler told the group that if they continue to cooperate and work with everyone in the city, that Lexington, well, it can develop into the kind of city that Rhett Butler talked about.
Not many of you are going to know what he said. Some of you have heard it before, but what Rhett Butler said to Scarlett as he left, All of you think you know. Before he left, she asked him, says, Rhett, why are you leaving? He said, well, I'm going to Charleston, but I want to go to a place that has grace and charm. And then he said the other. So that's what Lexington Fayette County is. So I'm looking forward to the next 2 years. I've enjoyed the last 2.
The mayor will not have to wait long. The council ends its holiday break this week and begins work in the second decade of merger. When William Waite woke up this evening, he smelled smoke. When he opened his eyes, there were flames all around him. Those flames destroyed the one-story frame house where his mother lived on Race Street in Lexington. When firefighters arrived on the scene, they were able to beat down the flames, but spent an hour dousing the smoldering furniture. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Waite was treated for minor burns and smoke inhalation. There were no injuries from a small fire at the Hyatt Regency Hotel this afternoon. Shortly after 2 p.m., firemen responded to a room fire on the 7th floor. The blaze was contained in a single suite, but floors 2 through 7 suffered water damage from the automatic sprinkler system. The 7th floor was to be closed for renovation next week. The lower floors are already in various stages of renovation. Apparently, the fire was started by a smoldering cigarette left on a mattress. It is believed by someone who had checked out. At least one hotel official saw the silver lining. He was pleased that the sprinkler system was in perfect working order. Presidential hopeful Jesse Jackson spent another day in Syria seeking the release of U.S. Naval Lieutenant Robert Goodman. We have more from Jamie Gangel in Damascus.
23,000 people living here. Gangel, NBC News, Damascus.
And now Dr. Duane is with us, and we're having a little bit warmer weather. It feels pretty good outside.
Yes, we're going to see normal temperatures for the next few days. It seems even warmer than normal since we've been used to that very cold there.
Good news. The weather is next.
Highs in the mid-30s and then a little bit colder than that on Friday. And by the way, there was a major earthquake reported 220 miles southwest of Tokyo. It was a magnitude 7 on the Richter scales. I've had no reports of any damage or any tsunamis out of that.
Okay. That threat I made last weekend of cutting your weathercast if you didn't improve the forecast seems to have worked.
Yeah, we were pretty short last night.
All right. Thank you, Duane. Where do you turn when you need the answer to anything? A dictionary, an encyclopedia maybe? Well, when all else fails, there is someone at the library with the answer. Glenn Wagner has more.
They're the reference. Wagner, 18 Action News.
Now here's a great reader who expands his mind, no doubt, every day at the library. Mark Sock.
No.
With sports, what do we have?
Don't point to me for educational background, please. The semifinals of the NFL playoffs, for the most part, are history. One more step to the Super Bowl and some real shockers today. I mean, just unbelievable games. Something was in the water last night.
All right, sports is next.
Mitchell finished with 18 points. Don't forget, whole day of bowls right here, starting with the Fiesta Bowl at 12:30 and the Rose Bowl and then the Orange Bowl. And, of course, I'm expecting Nebraska, along with a lot of other people, to stay #1 after tomorrow night.
Okay. We had people partying in the new year, praying in the new year, but running in the new year. If I'd started running at 11:30, I would have crawled in the new year. All right.
I would have been with you.
Thank you, Mark. Coming up next, you're going to meet Ashley Page Logan, and at 7 pounds, 11 ounces, she's already #1. All is well for Lexington's New Year's baby. Born at 1:02 a.m. this morning, Ashley Page Logan became the first local baby born in 1984. The 7-pound, 11-ounce baby girl, along with her mother, are in good condition at Central Baptist Hospital. It's the first child for Jeff and Mary Logan. The couple described the excitement on New Year's Eve.
It was about 10:30 last night, 11. The nurses were calling all the other hospitals and checking about seeing who was coming along first, and they said, we've got a good chance at it, and I just told her to come on, we can do it. She did it.
Having the New Year's baby was a surprise for the Logans. The infant was not due until January the 5th.
Guess my wife and I can be expecting that in about 8 more months.
That's right.
I think I'd rather have the deduction.
Ooh, missed it by an hour and 2 minutes. What's coming up in the weather?
Oh, fairly uneventful. Clouds, couple of sprinkles. But Mark, Sugar Bowl tomorrow. Auburn 0, Michigan 42.
You're from Michigan. It's obvious you're from Michigan.
Oh, dear, okay. Plenty of bowl games tomorrow, right?
Yeah, of course, everything starts out with the Fiesta Bowl, Pitt and Ohio State, which should turn out to be a real nice rivalry. And then, of course, we got the Orange Bowl, Illinois, going at 4:30, and then Nebraska at, I guess it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
The big game.
The big game. And like I said, Nebraska should win it, wrap up the national title, and should go down in history as one of the most powerful collegiate football teams in history.
All right. Thanks for watching. Once again, from all of us at 18 Action News, Happy New Year.
The 11 o'clock report is produced by 18 Action News, WLEX-TV, Lexington, Kentucky.
On this edition of Take